Going 12 minutes gone past 2. I'm Gabriella, welcoming you back to 92.3 Nigeria Info. On this hour, I would like to talk about how you feel. That was a song by Westlife, and many times when you hear songs like that, it makes you feel all mushy and emotional. You think about the person you love or you care about and you desire. You think about the person you're in love with and you sing along, oh, this love is unbreakable. But sometimes we feel negative emotions like anger, like pain, like disappointment, and that's what I want us to talk about today. Many times when you feel angry, when you feel upset, when you feel frustrated, do you know why? It's easy to identify what causes you to be angry in some cases. So someone upsets you, or someone steps on your toes, or a situation upsets you. Maybe your bank has debited you twice. That is enough reason in a time like this to be upset, and angry. But many times you feel frustrated and you do not even know why. Yeah, many times you feel regret, you feel uncertain, you feel fear. There's so many triggers that cause these negative feelings. But on this hour, we'll be focusing mainly on disappointments. So you've been engaged to a certain lady, and out of the blue, she decides, you know what, I know do again, and she takes a walk. You're disappointed. You invest monies in what area, any area of investment or in any company, and you don't get returns, and perhaps you lose your investment. You feel disappointed. You send your children to the best of schools. You make all the sacrifices and all the things you can do to put them in the best of schools and give them access to the best quality of education, and they come out still as terrible as you could never have imagined. You feel disappointed. You expect your parents to provide for you to a certain level, to be there for you, and they're not there for you. You feel disappointed. You expect your spouse to be there for you in a way that you want them to, and they're not. You feel disappointment. There are so many things that cause disappointments, and sometimes disappointment itself causes us to be angry, to make certain decisions that may not be good for us in the long run. But disappointment is directly linked to a person's expectations. The reason why you're disappointed is because you expected. So if you did not expect or have expectations, you will not be disappointed. So when you have expectations and your expectations and the outcome of a situation do not match, that equals to disappointment. That is what causes disappointment. And the occasional disappointment doesn't normally trigger anger, but the unwillingness to accept the reality that, oh, I didn't get what I expected, is what actually triggers anger. But we're not going to dwell or go deeply into disappointment as a whole. I want to know what you do when you feel disappointed. How do you handle disappointments in life? It could be disappointment in your workplace. It could be in your business. Your business is not moving as it should have. Your disappointments in the home front with your spouse, with your children, or with your parents. Disappointment in your relationship. Disappointment in life generally, whatever area. How do you handle disappointment? Many people do not handle it well, which is why it graduates, it transitions into anger. And anger in itself, when not managed properly, obviously roots and births negative decisions and negative actions, like perhaps suicide or hurting another person or killing another person. Most of the negative vices we hear about today are built, they came about through anger that has not been managed well. So when you feel any kind of disappointment in life, how do you handle it? What do you do? What are the first things that you do? What should be the first things you do when you have been disappointed by whoever? How do you deal with disappointments in life? So if you've been disappointed recently, or maybe one spectacular time in your life that you can never forget, I would like that you call in and share with me on this hour. How do you deal with disappointments? What do you do? How do you come out of such feeling? And how do you move on from a disappointment? 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003, 0817-923-0007, and the female line, of course, 0817-923-0009. 0009. The WhatsApp number is 0809 030 6416. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yes, I'm William from Port Harcourt.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Now, what I normally do, just like I did this morning, is to withdraw temporarily and emotionally from the source of that disappointment. I withdraw emotionally and temporarily from the source of that disappointment. And then I look for comfort with God. That's actually what I do. I look for comfort with God, try to reason, and then I talk to God. And then I feel reassured when I do that. Because it's wrong to remain connected to the source of disappointment. It's wrong to remain connected. Because the source that disappointment cannot disappoint you, cannot comfort you. So you withdraw from that, get connected to God or to someone that can encourage you. And then I move on from there. That's exactly what I do.
Awesome. Thank you very much for sharing. That works for some people just like it does for you. I mean, while having this conversation with someone this afternoon, I asked the same question. The person said exactly what you just said in his own words, So thank you so much for sharing that. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Okay, good afternoon. So, all right, so I'll tell you what, okay, my name is Stella. I'll tell you what I used to do, and then I'll tell you what I do now.
All right.
So the first thing I used to do was to withdraw, right? Just withdraw, just like the last caller said, withdraw emotionally and temporarily. But you see, that doesn't solve the problem. I visited with my youngest brother. I'm actually like 10 years older than him, and he said the reason people get disappointed is because of the level of expectation you have placed on that individual. Yeah. And that really it startled me, and I began to rethink about disappointment. First of all, we're all human beings. That's number one. Number two, I have also disappointed people, really, knowingly or unknowingly. So when my younger brother told me that, I began to grade or there's a way I look at people and what I can actually expect from them, because I also look at myself and imagine what people could also be expecting. Someone can see me and judge me and feel you should be able to do this for me. Get what I mean? But in actual sense, maybe I'm not. So I may also look at someone and feel you should be able to do this. And by all means, I'm not talking about anything finance. I mean, there are other expectations that we have. It could even be about your husband, your pastor, your friend, and all that. So right now, what I do on a permanent basis is that my expectation from people is minimal, is reasonable. And secondly, I try to give benefits of doubt, right? If I ever feel disappointed, I try to give people benefits of doubt. And honestly, it's past years I had this conversation with my brother, and it has made a lot of difference for me. I don't expect so much from people because, again, on a final note, people also have the issues they are dealing with. So
exactly.
Really, you just give people space and also let them be, really. And like the last caller also said, I enjoy music, and then the way I talk to you now is the way I talk to God, right? Just the same way the way we are conversing. So I found a deeper relationship with God, and I really, honestly, from my heart, don't feel the level of disappointment I feel towards people has gone down by 90%. So,
amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Thank you so much for sharing. Good afternoon.
Hello, Gabby. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm on every time. Gabby, thank you for this topic. Most of us always put our hope on somebody. And when the time comes, like, you're frustrated. This happened during when I want to bury my dad. Somebody promised me he will buy me 10 cartons. No worry. Then the money, I have the money that time to buy that 10 cartons. I use the money for another thing. I'm hoping on the person. Then when that day reached now, the day before the day, I called the person. When I come out from the person's mouth that, am I holding you? I just made a promise. If I don't have, my sister,
I was very bitter. So since then, they want to do something. I don't depend on people. Because your pocket is your own. The one that is with you in your pocket is your own. The one that is in the bank, that one is not your own. No, let me open up tell you. Because I go down and say, network the word, they say not be the drum. So that way go for your pocket. And then they get disappointment. They must get disappointment every time. Just hope on God and don't depend on people. They will disappoint you. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you very much for sharing as well. On Facebook, we're live. You can join the conversation on there at Nigeria Info 92.3ph, as well as on Twitter at Nigeria Info PH. On WhatsApp, Aminu says, Gabby, I'm very good at handling disappointments, except the one that has to do with a relationship with a woman that I love so much. But suicide is not one of the things I will do at all. It's unthinkable, he says. Thank you, Aminu, for sharing. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, my name is Akanto. I'm calling from Borogoni.
Go ahead.
Yes, I got like last caller and the last texter. You have been able to manage disappointment. I am one man that manage disappointment. I always play disappointment with appointment. If I'm anticipating for something, yes, I'm anticipating for something from an individual, even from my family or spirited organization. I always place disappointment alongside with that appointment. Either the person will do it or not to do. And one thing about me, if somebody promised me of something and I call you once, one call, I can't repeat 3 times to call you. If I call twice, today and tomorrow, I can't call you another day to remind you of that thing. The thing that I'm disturbing that person, maybe that person make that appointment or make that statement under merriment or with ego or in the midst of crowd that I want to give you 1,000 naira. Please call me on Monday. I will give you 1,000 in the midst of crowd just to draw attention that is doing well. Now let me tell you, my sister, a big man never help person, but a good man do. And again, individual cannot help you not until something happens. So in life, an individual or a person, you must play disappointment always and try to manage disappointment before you collapse or before you slump. And disappointment is everywhere, including the person you know, even the mother in the house. You remember, even in the day of Bible, in the day of old, disappointment has been there. So if disappointment is now, even tomorrow. So to me, I place appointment and disappointment alongside. You can disappoint today, and the type of person that I plan myself ahead of appointment of an individual. Right. If you say you want to give me 1,000 naira, I will know that by tomorrow, let me do and work. Easy to carry it. I can convert wait into work. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. All right, please call back. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, hello.
Good afternoon.
Yes. Disappointment.
Turn off your radio and go ahead.
A big topic. First time caller.
You're welcome.
Calling me from Elene.
All right.
If you have not disappointed yourself, someone cannot disappoint you.
Really?
Yes.
How so? Explain.
Tell me, my dear, if I am expecting you to give me 1,000 tomorrow and I have not given you 1,000 today, you wouldn't give me 1,000 tomorrow.
Really?
And if I give you 1,000 truly today, and I don't even know the situation.
Oh my goodness. Please call back. I really want to understand your knowledge. I really want to. So if you promise to give me 1,000 naira tomorrow and I haven't given you 1,000 naira today, that means you will not give me 1,000 naira tomorrow, even though you have promised to give me that money. I want to understand what you mean by that. I don't know. Do you mean that literally or are you speaking metaphorically? I really want to know. Please call me back, please, so I can understand. Good afternoon.
Maybe.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, fine afternoon. Today is not the sunny side. Today is the rainy side.
Right.
I say Colvin here.
Go ahead.
I get disappointment almost every day. Almost every day. I'm a business person. I've been here for more than 10 years. Initially, it was a very big challenge to me to cope. But at some point, I get used to it. as I'm talking to you, whenever I'm leaving my house, I know that I will see disappointment. So if it happens, it's not a strange thing to me. So for me, I have prepared my mind that anybody can disappoint me at any point in time. So it's not a problem. If I get disappointed now, it's not going to affect me because I'm well prepared for it.
So you're prepared for it mentally?
I am prepared. If you disappoint me now, it's not going to be a shock and a surprise to me because it's something I'm used to. I experience it every now and then. Thank you.
Thank you very much for sharing that. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Joseph calling from Port Harcourt, my four.
Go ahead.
Joseph.
All right.
Last year, I was disappointed. They said my money, about $600 in wise. And all I did was because I spoke with my boss about it. My boss said, if you want to invest that money, better remove your mind, because it would stop you when anything happens to the money. I copied. So to get over disappointment sometimes, you have to cooperate on certain things. And I copied that thing. Within a short time, then I ran away with my money. That time was all I did was, okay, they will see come back. They are not going yet. Everybody, they are going. People are just cleaning their themselves. I know how many people that that has committed suicide because of that. Their own money were even small, just that they collected it from some other person to get more profit.
So how did you deal with it? How did you deal with that disappointment?
I just removed my mind from that place. And I did not allow it to get to me. I just think that maybe I bought something with the money and it didn't go spoiled. That was why I did not even try to see myself. Also, this year, I was disappointed. My landlord said I should get out of his shop and got a lawyer. I didn't want to follow him to court. I left him. I go to this side, they say no. I go to this side, they say no. I now feel everywhere disappointed because so all I did was to just sit at home and think what I would do. I did not allow it to get to me. I just removed my mind there. Also, I did not even allow those things to just get to me. So I now say, okay, I will now start my business at home. And I did my advert. The people that started calling me from here, from far and near, Port Harcourt, around Port Harcourt. I started delivering food for them from my house. Now, I had, they now gave me a place. I should do stand. I started doing this, started disturbing me. I should go out. I said, okay, no problem. And I left there also. I came back to my house. Started doing like that also. Now I have a stand. I'm doing my business.
Awesome. Really glad that you could share that with me. Thank you so much for sharing. We'll take a break now, and when we come back, the conversation continues.
Connect with your customers. Advertise on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Visit our downtown office at Shop 9, Mediatrix of All Gracies Plaza, opposite FIRS, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt, and book your commercials. Call 0817-001-8162. That is 0817-001-8162. And let us connect you to your customers. Connect with your customers. Advertise on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Visit our downtown office at Shop 9, Mediatrix of All Gracies Plaza, opposite FIRS, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt, and book your commercials. Call 0817-001-8162. That is 0817-001-8162. And let us connect you to your customers. Connect with your customers. Advertise on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Visit our downtown office at Shop 9, Mediatrix of All Gracies Plaza, opposite FIRS, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt, and book your commercials. Call 0817 001 81.
Welcome back to the sunny side on 92.3 Nigeria Info. 28 minutes on the clock. I'm Gabriella, and we're talking about disappointment today. How do you handle disappointments in life? Now, when this happens, it hurts, and that's okay. You know, when you feel that it hurts, sometimes a bit, sometimes a whole lot, it can drag you down into a negative funk for a couple of days, for weeks, for months, for years, for as long as possible, as long as you let it. But if you learn how to deal with that disappointment in a healthier and a more helpful way, then it could be lots less scary and painful, and actually a springboard or a learning experience, for instance, for further personal growth. That's why before we wrap up the conversation, I'll be sharing a few ways that you can deal with disappointments. But I want to hear from you in your past experiences. How have you handled disappointments in life? With work, with business, with your career, with school, with your relationship, in the home front, with your parents, your children, in any area of life, every facet of life. How have you handled disappointments? The phone lines are still open. 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0003, 0817 923 0007, and the female line 0817 923 0009. On WhatsApp, it's 0809 0306416. On Twitter and Facebook, we're live, so you can join and stream live at Nigeria Info PH on Twitter and on Facebook at Nigeria Info 92.3 page. Let's head on out to WhatsApp. On WhatsApp, Sir Ken says, Gabby, I have never gotten disappointed because I never expect much from people. But when it happens, I do not get disappointed. I just move on, he says. This says, good afternoon, Gabby. Disappointment is when you get high expectations. Most times, I just plan for the worst case scenario. What will happen when I get disappointed? So it helps me to lower my expectations. And he says, where is Oracle? Oracle is on Let's Talk at 9 p.m. You can tune in at 9 o'clock and you will catch him live on Let's Talk. James from Boris says, good afternoon, Gabby. I'm used to disappointment. He says, I'm used to disappointment as an Arsenal fan. When you expect them to win, they lose. And when you expect them to lose, they win or they draw. So it's not a new thing to me. But I'm not a football fan, so I'm not sure how that feels to be an Arsenal fan. But wow. What an example to use. Let's head on out to Facebook, then we'll get back to the phone lines. Uniport Jagaban on Facebook says, I handle in an optimistic way, that is, seeing a better appointment ahead of me. And I do handle it with these words. Disappointment makes me get prepared for appointments. Thank you for sharing, Jagaban. Bright Nabi is still on Facebook says, disappointment is part of life. It's part of life's journey. So whenever I am disappointed, I take it as part of and take on to the next opportunity. Undubisi Good Luck Moses says, this topic is what I am passing through right now. I invested in a business that crushed and I'm just managing. He says, I invested in a business that crushed. I'm just managing it, praying to overcome it someday. Thank you for sharing, Moses from Eliozu. I do hope that you overcome someday. Stanley Rentals, thank you so much for joining our live stream on Facebook. Faith Martins, thank you so much for your thoughts as well. Let's get back to the phone lines. Good afternoon.
Yes, Gabriella, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, my name is Ibiso from Adoni Road.
Go ahead.
Okay. You see, disappointment, the way I look at it, anything I want to do in life, I weigh it in two options. Either I get it or I don't get it. So when the disappointment comes, the thing will not weigh me down the way, maybe it used to weigh other people down. We human beings, sometimes we are too desperate, you understand? And when you are a desperado, when the heat comes, you feel as if the world is coming to our hand. Sometime 2007, my equipment was stolen. I was, the first thing I have to do is to go and see my pastor to give me counsel. And some Bible quotation, I bounced back. I just said, okay, well, I believe this time I will pass through some process to build myself up. And my sister, when that thing happened, things that I stole that time, the next managed to raise money. The next thing I start using as equipment is far better than that thing, So the thing there is disappointment. Yes, we are human beings. Some people cannot control their emotion when they have disappointment. But just wait, as if you are going to Nigeria for now, just put it in your mind that you will meet hold up or the road will be free. So in any condition you meet yourself, you manage it. But if you just put it that you will not meet hold up, you go and reach Nigeria for in 5 minutes time from Rumokoro, and when you meet hold up, you feel very bad and you can easily transfer aggression to somebody else. So anything, to my understanding, anything you are doing, put it option A and option B. So when the disappointment comes, you will not say that, this, that. So just, keep living. If not, you will just, land crash. And some people will hear that it's because of this thing that this person want to kill himself, they will just laugh at you. So life is selfish. To me, it's two-way things. Either I get it or I don't get it. But if I get it, to God be the glory. If I don't get it, I will know the mistake I make and build up myself, dust myself, and still go for it again. That is one.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Hello, Gabby. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Gabby, how is work?
Very well.
I hope you know who is calling.
Chimbroma, go ahead.
Disappointment has been causing a lot of problems since time immemorial. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Somebody will promise somebody marriage, no way. Disappointment. Our money in the bank, disappointment. Ponzi scheme, disappointment everywhere. Government will promise us heaven and earth, disappointment. It has made people, even while crossing on the road, they may not know when to cross and when to look from the both sides of the road before crossing. Accident, because of disappointment. Somebody say, come, I will give you employment, disappointment. Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Landlord, tenant, promising landlord to bring his rent, disappointment. This thing it has been causing a lot of problem and harm in people's life. Start to do. That's why we have a lot of accidents. People cross road, they don't know when they are crossing the road. That's why every person using vehicle must make sure that your brake is working all the time. Your brake must be active in your car. Because some people are not on the road with themselves. Hello? Because some people are coming from where they had disappointment. Somebody promised them employment, disappointment. Oh, my girlfriend who promised to marry me after I sponsor her in her education, disappointment. She discovered I did not go to school. You are not a master degree holder.
Really?
You are not her equal. Disappointment.
Wait, hold on, Chimbroma. Hold on, Chimbroma. Did that happen to you, or you're just saying?
I have mentioned a lot of things now. Will you say all of that happen to me?
This particular one of you sponsoring a lady to school, did it happen to you?
Why are you singling that one out?
It's just a simple yes or no now. Chimbroma, answer me now. It's just me you're talking to, You can tell me.
Guys, I will not tell you.
All right, go ahead. Oh my goodness. All right, thank you for sharing. Anyway, we've got 19 minutes on the clock. On WhatsApp, Anonymous says, I was disappointed when I invested and the pay didn't come as it was my first time, but I'm trying to overcome it by being hopeful my money will be paid sooner or later. This message reads, still on WhatsApp, expect the worst, expect the best, prepare for both. Don't attach your emotions to either of them. If it turns out well, enjoy it. If it turns out ugly, move on and look for a better way. Thanks for sharing that.
Hello?
You got to turn off your radio when you call. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Go ahead.
Calling you from both sides of disappointment.
You need to speak up louder so I can hear you.
Disappointment. How to handle disappointment.
Right.
For someone to disappoint you, hello, can you hear me?
Go ahead.
For someone to disappoint you means you have been able to trust somebody again. You really trust that person much. Or You're giving out something and you're expecting something. Disappointment. If you have not disappointed yourself when you're thinking from the beginning, before you start that thing, you will not get disappointment from return or applicant. The thing is that we Nigerians, we always believe that anything you do for somebody, either help or anything you are expecting return. Maybe tomorrow, I help my brother's son, I trained him, I did this, I did that.
Right.
And tomorrow I'm expecting that in the return. And no, life is not like that. Disappointment. You have disappointed yourself from the beginning before you are expecting disappointment, my dear. Before anything disappointment, you have disappointed yourself. Check yourself before when you talk about disappointment. Check. This thing I'm giving out, am I comfortable with this? This thing I want to do, is it okay for me? Check yourself. Disappointment. You disappoint me. What was I thinking? What was I me before we started it? What was it? Sorry, I don't need to take your time.
All right. Thank you very much for sharing. Now, let's talk briefly about the first thing that you need to do when disappointment happens is accept how you're feeling. You got to accept that, look, right now I am disappointed with what happened, with this person, this partner disappointing me or breaking my heart, or this business venture not working, or this investment failing, or whatever it is that could have caused a disappointment. First accept that, look, it happened and it's okay for it to happen. It's not my fault. It's not because I wasn't good enough or because I did not try hard enough. It's just because it was meant to happen. So you need to first accept how you're feeling about it. Let it all in and let it hurt. Disappointment hurts. Life hurts generally. So when a disappointment happens, allow it hurt. You're not in the wrong for hurting. Hurting is part of life in some way. So when disappointment happens, let it all in, accept that it has happened, and let it hurt for a while. Because if you do it, then it will go away quicker. If you allow for it to sink in quicker, it will disappear quicker. So let it all in and accept that it has happened. Second thing you need to do is remember that you are not a disappointment. Now, this is very crucial to how you handle disappointments, because very likely, in many cases, when you experience a disappointment, very likely you are unconsciously going to feel like you are a disappointment, but you're not. So just because you may have been disappointed or had a setback or made a mistake and disappointed someone else does not mean you also are a disappointment or a failure. And this situation that you're in right now will not last forever, even if it might feel that way today. So the truth is, just because you were disappointed today or you disappointed someone does not mean that you'll be or do that same thing tomorrow or the next time. This also does not label you as a disappointment. And if you keep moving forward, you keep taking action that will move you on and you'll improve. So accept that you are not a disappointment. Number 3, learn from that disappointment. So instead of getting lost in the pain and negative emotions that can come from that disappointment, choose to see it more as something you can learn valuable things from and something that can also help you grow. So when something, for instance, happens, let's assume you have disappointed someone, you made a mistake, maybe in your business, you invested wrongly, or you made the wrong decision, or you hurt someone. Rather than feel like you're a disappointment, tell yourself, wow, I'm learning not to behave in a certain way. I'm learning not to make hasty decisions in my business. I'm learning not to overreact in this kind of situation. You are learning. It's a learning curve. Life itself is a learning curve. So number 3 is learn from that disappointment. And you can do that by asking yourself questions like, what is one thing I can learn from this? How can I adjust my course to avoid this disappointment in the future? What is one thing I can do differently the next time? So when you ask yourself these kind of questions, very likely communicate better the next time when you're in a similar situation or work together with someone else on a particular task or project. You'll find that you've given yourself a better balance to life, and so you're at ease to make better decisions in the future. Number 4, before I get back to the phone lines real quick, is remind yourself that disappointments will happen if you go outside your comfort zone. Now, let me explain. Who is never disappointed? Everybody feels disappointed at some point in time, or never feeling low about a setback or mistake. Everybody feels that at some point in their lives. The people who never really go outside of their comfort zone are people who never really get disappointed. So you're playing safe. You're saying, I don't want to be disappointed. I know that disappointment can happen. So in order to prevent it from happening, I'd rather not have expectations. I'd rather not even expect, or I'd rather not do this, or I'd rather not do that. But the truth is, everyone who is now successful, either in their career or business, or even have a very successful relationship, may have had to have a fair share of disappointments and failure, because to have anything successful, you must have made some mistakes or hurt or experienced some kind of disappointment or failure in that regard. So disappointment in itself is not a bad thing. So you need to remind yourself that, look, life should happen. I should allow myself happen. And if this disappointment happens, it does not define me. And then the 5th thing is you need to refocus on what you still have in your life. So a girl has broken your heart, and you're feeling like your world has come to an end. It's crashed down to the lowest point that it could crash into. You're feeling like, what is the point living? But the truth is, if you move or shift your focus from what might have caused that disappointment, you find a lot of things still working for you. Like you have a good job, or you have great family that love you. You have great siblings and parents who love you. You have a thriving business, for instance. You have prospects. All of these things are still working. So even though you might have failed in a relationship, you still have a profitable business. It's working. So focus on that profitable business. Basically, one way to handle disappointment is just refocus on what is working in your life. So focus on your business, focus on that job, focus on your family who love you, focus on your hobbies. For instance, you love singing, you're a fantastic singer. Focus on singing more often. That way you find yourself easing better and transitioning better from that place of disappointment. But let's get back to the phone lines. We've got 3 minutes for this conversation. I'll take just one last call and then we'll wrap it up. Good afternoon.
Yes, Gabby, do you know why we're having BP all over the place? Average Nigerian man and woman have BP, hypertension everywhere. It's disappointment though. BP everywhere, problem. You send the child to school, the child be collecting school fees, collecting money for accommodation, collecting money for this. You thinking that your child is in school, not knowing that the child is not in school. Smoking in the air and everywhere. Average Nigerian has BP as it stands now. We don't know what is going on in the country. BP everywhere. Hypertension everywhere, my sister. BP is too much. Oh. My friend collapsed the other day and died. Oh. BP everywhere is disappointment, my brother. Teach us what to do, please. My name is Chibroma.
Chibroma, thank you very much for sharing. Yes, I mean, with the rising insecurity in the country, with the crumbling economy, with the high cost of living, with everything that can go wrong going wrong, it's very possible that, like Chimbrama said, a lot of people are getting living on the edge, and developing high BP like he said. So how do you handle all of this? Final thing that I would say is talk it over with someone who is closer to you. A problem, they say, half that is shared is half solved. So as cliche as that might sound, it actually works. So getting a healthier and wider perspective on what happened is a vital part of dealing with disappointment in a better way. So talk to someone who can listen to you, who can understand how you feel, who can also help you get out of that disappointment. And even if they really can't give you what you're looking for, but when you have a shoulder to lean on in a time like that in your life, it helps you heal better. So as things go bad and things are going wrong, I want to encourage you, regardless of how deep that disappointment has hit you, be strong. Talk it over with someone. Accept that it has happened. Remind yourself that you are not a disappointment. Focus on what is working in your life, and you'll be fine. We all will be fine. On that note, the sunny side comes to an end today. At 3 o'clock will be time for Rivers Today. Right after Dio will come take you on Hard Facts, and Sam Oracle Chinedu will be on Let's Talk at 9 p.m. Don't forget, you can get interactive with us on socials, on Facebook at Nigeria Info 92.3ph, on Twitter at Nigeria Info PH, on Instagram, same as well, at Nigeria Info PH. I'm also on social at Gabani Live on all platforms, on Instagram at Gabani. Have a splendid afternoon. Stay warm, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow.